Subduction of Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, do other leaders in other nations have reason to be worried? Let's take a look. First, listen to what President Trump has said about Colombia's president, Gustavo Petro.
Colombia is very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. He's not going to be doing it very
So there will be an operation by the U.S.
It sounds good to me. Yeah. You know why? Because they kill a lot of people.
Then there's Mexico.
By the way, you have to do something with Mexico. Mexico has to get their act together because they're pouring through Mexico, and we're going to have to do something.
But there are big differences between Venezuela and Colombia and Mexico in terms of political stability, democratic rule and politics. And as such, many analysts conclude it's highly unlikely the US would or could attempt a military coup in either country. But what about Cuba? The US has punished the tiny island nation for 6 decades because of the Cuban Revolution through economic sanctions and travel restrictions. Havana is also a US-designated state sponsor of terrorism. Here's what US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said.
Yeah, look, if I lived in Havana and I was in the government, I'd be concerned, at least a little bit.
You see, Rubio is a son of Cuban immigrants and has admitted that for him, it's personal. He's a vocal opponent of Latin America's leftist leaders and is credited with crafting Trump's hardline approach.
Is the Cuban government the Trump administration's next target, Mr. Secretary?
Well, the Cuban government is a huge problem. Yeah, the Cuban government is a huge problem. First
So
of all,
is that a
people in
yes?
Cuba, but I don't think people fully appreciate. I think they're in a lot of trouble. Yes, I'm not going to talk to you about what our future steps are going to be and our policies are going to be right now.
It's not just Latin America. There's one other country that's been in the US's crosshairs for decades: Iran. The US and Israel bombed Iran in June. Could the US use strikes to trigger the collapse of the Islamic Republic? Well, right now, it doesn't seem so far-fetched.
There's been protesters killed in Iran. You said we were locked and loaded, ready to go. What is the line there for when the U.S. is going to get involved in those protests?
We'll take a look. We're watching it very closely. If they start killing people like they have in the past, I think they're going to get hit very hard by the United States.
All this from a president who promised to end American wars.